Hey guys, J-Dub here at Dub's Customs. Here at the shop, we work with cars every day. And every once in a while, the phone rings and we hear about something that could potentially be special. Something that's been put away for quite a few years. Today, I went on a little adventure and I pulled this car out of a sea can and purchased it, and it's here at the shop. So we're gonna have a little talk about this vehicle. Look at all the contents inside. See what the last guy was doing. Like I said before, this is one of my favorite things to do. What was left inside, what was going on with the car just before it got put away, or whatever may have happened for it to be parked for a number of years. So let's dive right into this. The car is a 1956 Chieftain station wagon. Now, this station wagon, it's lived a pretty good life, I would say. It's showing its age. It's definitely had some cosmetic, I wouldn't say issues, but modifications. Yeah, that's good. And it's looking pretty good. So let me spin around here and show you what I'm talking about. Meet Dub's Customs new Chieftain. And I know that because, well, it says it on the license plate. And you can see that, yeah, it needs a little bit of work. Who doesn't? But if you come this way and you have a little gander at the side profile, like, there's something different about that. And what I mean is, well, do I even need to explain? I guess for some of you I probably do, so here goes. Now, this was a 4-door station wagon that somebody has split down the middle and removed the back door section. So probably like 24 to 26 inches, and shorten the wheelbase. And when you do that, this is what you get. So we're gonna have a walk around this thing today, maybe get it off the trailer and have a little look inside. I'll give you a little sneaker. You can't see much, but there's definitely junk in there. This door don't open from this side. Not sure if it's locked or if there's a problem there, but all in all, pretty solid. You know, it's been in storage for quite a while. There's definitely a few things that I'm wondering about. Number one is, like, why is this bumper mounted down here when this top lip is supposed to be up here? That should be covered. Now, I don't understand why it's like that. Seems a little odd. You can see right there, like, this should be in underneath, and that, you know, like, there's like 2 inches there. But anyway, that's, you know, here nor there. I also feel like this spot right here, this is probably somewhere where they must have, like, sculpted. I see a bit of weld here, actually. They did some work in here. So I'm assuming that this piece was sculpted in so it matched the front doors. Not sure, that's just a theory at this point. But rockers, pretty solid. Floor, not too bad. There's definitely a little bit of cancer here and there, but these are all pretty easy fixes. Sport badges. Let's look under the hood. How do you get this hood open? Chrome for miles on this thing. Come on. Come on, baby. There we go. So, looks like your run-of-the-mill 350. Don't think that's stock. We might have had the radiator moved forward a bit, not sure. It kind of looks like it's... What I'm trying to do here, guys, and I'm really trying to figure out what they did to make this vehicle shorter. You know, what did this customizer do? Where are all the mods at to make this go down? So you're kind of like a detective. But let's get right inside and pull out the junk, see what was left behind. What can we learn about this vehicle? Let's quit talking and dive right in. All right, so my first impression of everything that's left inside here is just looking at some of the stuff that's in here. I know it hasn't been parked for a lot of years, but there's definitely a collection of junk. So let's kind of feed through it, see what we can learn, and clean this girl out. And this. Well, it looks like we got the heater box, so either we've got a blown heater core in here, or I really don't see any other reason that it was taken out besides it leaking and needing to be changed. So right off the bat, we might need a heater core. So, okay. All right. Okay. So, looks like our fuel system ends right here. So, I guess we must have a hole in the tank, or there's no tank, or they really just got this thing cobbled together and never finished it off. I just don't know. Bunch of randomness as far as tools go, by the looks of it. I'm not going to throw any of this paperwork away yet. I better read that because it might be important information. Oof. If you ever wonder why I always have this around my neck, this is why. You just never know what you're breathing in when you enter one of these cars. Mouse turds, mold, neither of those things are good for the lungs. Like I was saying, we got a bunch of random old tools, probably from like the 90s or something. Nothing's got cords these days. They must have been wrenching on this thing pretty hard right at the end. Why else would it have all these tools inside? Ooh, I don't have one of these. Sweet. Might have shredded a belt, so that could mean we have a little bit of misalignment between our pulleys on the front of the engine. Maybe. Something to think about. See, just by cleaning this thing out, we're learning about it. That looks fairly new. Probably use that around the shop. Saving money already. Can always use another tape measure Sweet. Another threaded belt. That theory about the pulleys being misaligned, maybe the alternator, coming more plausible. There's all this white stuff right here that concerns me about. I just don't know what's in it. Could be asbestos for all I know. Maybe brake fluid leak? Don't know. I don't know, if I was driving this car back in the day, I probably would have liked to have a nice refreshing drink sitting right there. Not brake fluid, but everybody's different. I don't know if you guys have noticed this little doodad sitting right here. One of the main reasons that this vehicle right here perked my interest. 4-speed. This is a Vertigate 4-speed, so everything's in line. First, second, third, fourth. No 8 shift. Pretty cool. Can't wait to bang through the gears. This bad boy. I love it. Dash is pretty nice. Got half a headliner. The vehicle's in pretty good shape, rust-wise. Definitely see some modifications and stuff, but a little bit of rust down there, but nothing major. Let's move to the back seat. See what else we can find. Okay, let's head to the back. Well, at first glance, I notice we've got a tool still in a package, an old stereo system, I know, a stereo. You just never know what you're going to find in the back of these old cars. This time we have a stereo system. Let's get that dirty thing out of here. For some reason the deck is back here, but then again, the fuel system was up there. Good score. Okay. Definitely some old stuff, but some good stuff. You know, your home builder kit. When you're working in the shop on your car, you've got everything you need to keep it running tip top. Nice. Put that in the keep pile. We have the battery mounted in the back. This guy was really trying to make this thing go fast, I think. He definitely loved music. It's quite the stereo system right behind the seat. I imagine that made some good racket. There's lots of remnants of mice down here. Oh, we got ourselves an amplifier. Add the extra kick to the system. Oh, here's where that white stuff is coming from, right here. Don't know what it is. Oh, actually, yeah, I do. It's just floor mats for sopping up messes in your shop. Just old ones that are deteriorating. I prefer not to have any of this stuff in my lungs, thank you. Huh. Maybe the last time that it was on the road, it was Canada Day. Got a book down here. No way! You know what I just found? You know, if you like collect hockey cards or anything, Matt, sorry. I'm excited right now. This is incredible. You know, when you collect something like hockey cards or Pokemon cards or whatever, there's always that one Holy Grail card. I feel like if there was a Holy Grail card in cleaning up old cars and finding junk, this right here is it. Look at this. Now, what do we got here? I don't even know. This is, oh my God. This is the guidebook, the blueprint to this car. It's incredible. Here it is. 1956 Chieftain as a 4-door. Unbelievable. It was in pretty good shape. Why would they ever chop it up? Now they're pulling the body off. This must be the dude right here that maybe did the work. We did have some rust in the floors. Obviously that got fixed. Okay. Oh my, I can't believe this. Still a 4-door there. Still a 4-door. Somebody's information. I'm not really going to say any names, but this guy looks like he's the main fabricator of this build. Oh, there it is. Check it out. That's probably about how much they took out of the center. Sweet. So cool to see it in these stages. And such old pictures. There he is. Look at that. It's part of why I do what I do. You know, this guy right there, he's a proud man in that moment. But he also knows he's got a lot of work ahead of him. Incredible. Sandblasting the frame. They had this thing right down to the frame. That's pretty crazy. Well, I guess they would have had to because the frame would have been shortened. Maybe we'll have some evidence of that. There it is. The first look at it as a shorty. Isn't that cool? Super cool. Like, name something better that you could find in an old junker car than pictures of the build. Like, and the incredible fabricators that were doing the work. Like, I wonder what year this was. Starting to weld it up. Man, if you guys don't customize cars and don't know the time that you put into these things, like, incredible. There's the splice across the roof. Down. Oh, I knew they had some stuff going on down in the doors. Yep. Here we're starting to see it outside as a shorty. It's looking good. It looked good back in the day. Here we go. We get into the splice of the frame. I'm just looking at the process that they used. As a fabricator myself, I like to do it a little bit different of a way than what this guy did, but I have seen it done this way before. Let me show you what I mean. So, right there in that picture, I don't know if you guys can see it, but it's like a 45 cut, right? So you can see it there in that picture too. And then they just went and put a doubler over the outside, plug welded and welded top and bottom. You can still see on the inside of the frame right there, the 45 cut. So not the way that I like to cut frames. I like to do like a Z notch where you go up to center, along for 10 inches and up like a Z notch. When you bring the two halves back together, as long as you did your horizontal cut exactly level, you can kind of see it. So you know if the back half of the frame is up too far or down too far because of the gap. So something I like to do, but there's a lot of different ways to skin a cat. But pretty cool. I did notice that this rig does have some pretty good parts on it. It's got a T10 transmission, upper and lower tubular A-arms, inboard leaf spring kit in the back with a sway bar, which is pretty good. I imagine this little thing rips pretty good, and I can't wait to take it out. Yeah, look at that. They did some work back there. Anyway, enough of this. I'll look at this in a little bit more detail later, but I don't want to bore you guys. Super. Oh, no. 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 Look at this. The proof is in the pudding. That's like a Nova or an Acadian or something. Look at the engine. They're pulling the engine out. Interesting. Pulling the engine. The engine's out in that picture. So that's like a 1970 Acadian, maybe? Nova? But here we go. They're dropping it back in our Pontiac. There it is. Oh, that's still coming out of the donor car, but there it is. We've got a pretty good engine in this thing. Pictures of clutch. Whew. It's getting me excited. It's getting hot in here. I got to get back to work. This is incredible. Like, it's showing all the history. We're into the body work now. There's that Vertigate shifter that Buddy ordered. I've never driven a vehicle with this type of shifter, so I can't wait to give it a go. Yeah, and look at that. There she is. in her prime back in the day. Man, what I'd give to get it back into that condition. I know a lot of you guys are probably thinking, I'm pretty sure at the beginning of this video, he said finding hidden gems or something along those lines. This is a gem to me. Everybody has their own taste, and that's why the car culture is so great. Everybody likes something different. I like custom. I can look at this all day, but this isn't going to clean itself. So, super cool. So I'm going to end this video like this. Today we executed a plan that had been in motion for at least 2 months, saving this 56 Pontiac Chieftain from the sea can. I did a quick walk around with you guys to show you what I thought happened when they actually shortened this vehicle. I showed you under the hood. We did a good thorough cleaning of the inside just so we could find out what kind of history it had, what was happening just before it got put in that sea can or the last time it had been on the road. We found some amazing treasures. Lots of tools for the shop, lots of mouse turds like normal. Got the mask for that. But I still can't believe it, but we found one of the most amazing finds I've ever found in one of these old cars, and that is this photo album. The total blueprint of what they did step by step to shorten this beautiful station wagon. And well, there would have been only one more thing to do, and that would have been fire this engine up for you guys. But unfortunately, well, we got no keys. So in the next video, we're going to be putting a tumbler in this thing. We're going to fire up this engine, and maybe we're going to try out that Vertigate shifter. It's going to be something wild. Stay tuned. Hey guys, it's J-Dub here at Dub's Customs. I'm back with the 56 Pontiac Chieftain. So in part 2 of this video, we're going to finish by cleaning this car up. Put a little bit of degreaser down in the valley. Anywhere where there's some thicker oil buildup, start breaking that down. We'll hose all this down, and hopefully by the end of this video, we'll put a button on the starter. And well, we might as well put the fuel system back on the passenger seat, and hopefully we can bottle feed this thing back to life. And well, if any luck, the fuel will start to pull through the pump into the carburetor, and it'll really come around where we could rev this thing up and maybe shift it into a gear or two. That would be a good start. Now that I've finished cleaning up the car, let's have a little closer look at the engine. It looks to be complete. Spark plugs are quite rusty, but it looks like it'll fire up as long as it has spark, oil pressure. You guys know the spiel. But next on the list, we need to hook up a button to the starter so we can start rolling this engine over. We kind of want to do that because we need the oil to start coming up, and it's the next best thing besides taking out the distributor and actually pumping the pump to bring the oil up in the engine. So we want to do that when there's no spark. So I'll unplug the distributor and we'll roll it over a bit, try to get some of that oil up, and then we're going to tackle spark. We'll hook that wire back up, check, make sure we got spark. If we got spark, put some fuel in it, prime it, start rolling it over. And oh, I did realize that the tumbler is broken. So we can actually go in the car and roll it over like we've got the key. So that's good news. Now that I've got this wire hooked up, it's time to check spark. If we've got spark, it's fuel, prime, and fire. We're good to go. Now that we've done all our checks, we've primed the engine, verified we have spark, there's nothing left to do but to add some fuel to this system, and I'm pretty confident at this point that this engine will fire right up. Well, I can tell you what I think right now is either we've got a spark plug wire off or a dead spark plug. It just doesn't seem like it's running on all 8 cylinders. But everything looks all right here. I did wash the engine off, so there is a chance that maybe a little bit of water in the distributor, but it's running, kinda. Good start. What do we got on the other side? Yeah, all our spark plug wires are on. We got lots of oil, that's good. But why are we running like crap? Is it the carburetor gummed up? Maybe? Does it just need a little bit more run time just to come around? So I'm going to try that first, try to get a little bit of heat into the engine again. I'm taking a little bit of a risk because there is no oil pressure sensor hooked up. So I'm just gambling at the moment that, you know what, if it had no oil pressure, it should be seized by now. Now, I do notice, oh yeah, that could be a problem. We're leaking major fuel out of this carburetor. I don't know if you guys can see that, but we bring you in, we'll have a, see right there, accelerator pump, I believe is what that is. And it's shot. You can see it dripping down right in there. Well, that ends this for the moment because I don't really want to burn this beast to the ground. That fuel leak on the carburetor is going to end today's video. We did manage to get the engine running today, kind of. It's going to take a little bit more work to get it running good, but we can't do that with a leaky carburetor. Now my attention is really starting to be drawn over to this area here. It's driving me absolutely nuts that it just looks like the wheel is too far forward in the wheel arch. I don't know if you guys agree, but when I see something that's custom and the wheel is not in the right spot in the arch, it absolutely drives me crazy. So in the next video, we're heading underneath there and we're gonna see what we can do to fix that problem and be one step closer to doing burnouts. Here at Dubs Customs, we're always looking for our next project. Sometimes we find them in a garage, a barn, or in this case, a sea can. This 56 Pontiac had been sitting for at least 10 years before we pulled it out for it to see the light of day again. Sometimes we spend a lot of time on them and bring them right back around. Sometimes they're only at the shop for a short period of time. But the main objective is to make sure they're seen on the road again. In the case of our 56 Pontiac, a fella came to the shop absolutely in love with it. He happened to buy it, so it's on its way to a new home. Like always, guys, be safe out there. Peace.